Hello. I'm getting increasingly angry when I see headlines about how much my taxpayer money is going towards things that I don't agree for it to go towards. So, for example, did you know that it costs £4 million a day to house illegal migrants? £4 million a day. The budget for housing migrants over 10 years has gone from 4 billion to over 10 billion. Like, it's trebled. And some idiot sat in a parliament and went, oh, that's a good idea, yeah, let's do that. And I'm like, hang on a minute, what? How did you get to that bit? How did you get to adding VAT on education and displacing kids and killing state sector? How did you get to cutting pensioners' winter fuel allowance? How did you get to decimating the entire farming community and our food supply? How did you get to that and go, but it's all right, we've got 4 million a day that we can spaff on migrants? I mean, what idiot came up with that idea? And I tell you what idiot it was. It was the idiot that got to about 12, joined the Labour Party, finished school, and then went on to be an MP. That idiot. That idiot that's had no actual life experience. And the more I think about this, the more I think there should be a new legislation where governments must be made 70% of candidates from U3A. Now, that is where you get someone who's got the qualifications of this really old-fashioned thing called life. I know. It's underrated by so many people, but actually it's the best qualification you can ever have because you've lived this whole thing, you are connected to this whole thing, and you know how to make decisions based on outcomes because you've probably had to do it before in your life. I mean, when I hear Rachel Reeves talk about tough choices, for her it's kind of like, is that a caramel latte or a skinny latte? It's not actually a tough choice, is it? She's not sat around the table and had to have the conversation with the family, which is, there is no holiday this year, everyone. I'm really sorry, but we have got a new boiler. She's never had to do that because she's come out, gone and done a bit of work experience with Barclays or whatever it was, and then she's now Chancellor of the Exchequer, where she's making stupid choices, but she's not making tough choices because she does not know what a tough choice is. And if we have a look at her income, I don't think she's going to be making many tough choices anytime soon. And I'm like, why are we employing these absolute morons? Why aren't we going down to U3A and going, do you know, come on, you lot, you know what you're talking about. You've been there, seen it, done it, you've got the picture, you've got the T-shirt, and now we're going to actually listen to what you've got to say and say, yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Why don't we do it like that? You know, all your newfangled ideas, there's room for them, but let's look at the structure that actually works. And we know it works because we've been there, seen it, and done it. You know, it's my favourite phrase to my kids when we're having disagreements because obviously they're teenagers, so therefore that, you know, they invented the wheel, they know everything and we know nothing, and life solely revolves around the teenage mind brain person. But there are times when it comes as a shock to them when I actually know a bit more, and I say to them, guys, you've never been 49, but I've been 13. I've been 17. I've been where you are now. I've navigated those waters. And whilst I'm not telling you you've got to do it my way, because the whole point is that you do it your way so that you live and learn and grow. But I'm here next to you, just making sure that we're keeping you safe, that just, you know, we're keeping you on the road. We're not veering off it. And when you do feel like you're veering off it, I'm here to go through that with you so that we can together support you so that you actually grow into a decent human being who can make decent choices. That's kind of why you're parent, isn't it? And it's a bit like that being in government. You're sort of the parents of the country. I mean, I wouldn't want that job. And I think if I thought that I had to go into government, I'd probably ask to be sterilised. But nonetheless, that's kind of what's happening, isn't it? We've got people in the country who are making choices for us, but they're not making them with us. They're not doing what I'm doing, which is being on the pathway with the child, not in front of them, but with them, sort of slightly sometimes behind them in the background, just letting them feel it out and work it out themselves, but being the safety net. And knowing that actually at the forefront of all of this is their welfare. But the government, no. They're coming out of Labour Party membership at the age of 17, 18. Then they're going and doing a bit of work experience in dad's firm or at Barclays Bank, and then they go, right, okay, I can be Chancellor of the Exchequer, I can be the Education Secretary, my dad was a toolmaker, I can definitely be Prime Minister. And they start making decisions about you and I that they've got absolutely no concept of the outcome. Whereas people in U3A, yep, they've been there, seen it, done it. I mean, I'm 1 foot in the door. I don't know how old you have to be in U3A. Sort of done NCT, now I want U3A. But it's the bit where you go, I've lived. I've seen it, and I didn't always get it right. And because I didn't always get it right, I now feel slightly more qualified than some numpty who's never had a go at it to actually make these decisions that will impact an entire country of people. And if you were to say to me, do you think it's a good idea to spend £4 million a day on housing illegal migrants? I'd go, no, absolutely not. What did you have on your breakfast this morning? That's never going to be a good idea, is it? And that's how you sort of work with people, for the greater good of the country. So go to U3A. Everyone should go to U3A. And then there should be a legislation that says the cabinet should be made up of 70% U3A people. Maybe 60% if, we need to have diversity and inclusion and all of that kind of stuff. But what we need is a cabinet of experience and humility. That's the other thing. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? A little bit of humility every once in a while. I don't know. I sort of think it makes the world go round. And on that note, I've got to go and construct a fish pie, which one end has egg, middle bit has spinach, and the other end is just fish, but not the coloured fish, the smoked fish. Because one doesn't like smoked fish, one does like egg, and one likes all of the above. Who said life was easy? But you see, that's because I've got experience. Somebody may turn around and say, just put it in front of them and make them eat it. And that, don't necessarily disagree with you on that, other than I know that there's going to be wasted food and an argument at the table, and nobody's going to learn anything, and I would have ended up making a fish pie that nobody wants. So what I'm doing is I'm using my experience of being a family of faddy eaters, and I'm knowing that if I put egg in one end, spinach in the middle, and just plain fish at the other end without the orange bits, it will get eaten and enjoyed. And that, Your Honour, is why I think people in the cabinet, in government, should have life experience. You're welcome.